What's up, math scholars? It is Friday, and it is 8th period, so everybody's really excited for the weekend. We are learning 2-6. We're still using synthetic division. We are still using factoring, but we're adding in the bonus skill of graphing, so you need your calculators ready today. Who's excited for Friday? All right, go ahead and jot this down. The rational zero theorem. All rational zeros, solutions, are of the form P over Q, where P is a factor of the constant term and Q is a factor of the leading coefficient. So as you're writing that down, I'm going to come up with a formula or an equation that we can look at together. All right, we're back, everyone. I just wanted you to look at this polynomial with me to realize that P would be the 10. And if you would need to make a list of factors of 10, you just make a list of numbers that divide 10 evenly. 1, 2, 5, and 10. Q would be the factors of the leading term, leading coefficient. In this case, 2. So the factors of Q would be 1 and 2. Okay, so it's backwards from what you think. Most people would think this is P, this is Q. It's backwards. You start with P and then you do Q. Let's try one. The prompt on these is list the possible rational zeros, solutions of this function. So here's my equation. Is it a cubic, quartic, or quadratic? Just for fun. Cubic. Cubics have 3 solutions. That's something to kind of realize today with what we're doing. So to make our list of possible rational solutions, we're going to start with our P list. It's all the numbers that divide 12 evenly. Here's how I do it. 1 times 12 equals 12. 2 times 6 equals 12. 3 times 4 equals 12. And that's a complete list now. Can I see how I did that? All right, our Q is our leading coefficient. What's a leading coefficient in this polynomial? Just a 1. So our Q list is very short. It's just 1. So here's how you list out all possible rationals. You make a positive, negative P over Q list. So you have to do every P over Q you can possibly do. It has to be a complete list. So positive or negative 1 over 1, which is just 1. Positive or negative 2 over 1, which is just 2. Positive or negative 3 over 1, just 3. Positive or negative 4 over 1. Positive or negative 6 over 1. And positive or negative 12. So it's a super long list, and I always hear people ask, what is the point of this? The point is just to see who the possible solutions are. So I know right off the bat, 7 is not a solution. 5 is not a solution. It's not on my list. 4, maybe he'll be a solution. Okay. Let's try one more. I'll give some tickets away. Here is our next polynomial. We have the same exact prompt. List out all possible rational solutions. So for 1 ticket, can somebody give me my P list? Brandolyn. Yep, you're exactly right. I'm going to leave the plus or minus jazz until we're doing the P over Q. But you're exactly right. She got those numbers from looking at this 10. That's her P value. All right, 1 ticket. If you can give me my Q list. Grace? Perfect. So she got that from looking at the 4 and listing out every number that divides 4. All right, does anybody think they can make that list of all the plus or minus P over Q's? You can have a ticket. We want to go try it? Dorian? Did you say 4? I don't think 4 is going to be it. So it's P over Q, P over Q, P over Q, P over Q. Do you know what I mean? So you started good because 1 over 1 is 1, 2 over 1 is 2, 5 over 1 will be next. And what will be next? Okay, so you did all the numbers with 1 as their denominator. Now you got to go and do all the numbers with 2 as their denominator. I know, it has to be an extensive list, complete list. I would just write 1/2. So 1/2 would be on the list. So he's doing 1/2, then 2/2, which is already on the list. If something's already on the list, you don't have to list it again. All right, how about 5/2? And then what would be next? 10/2, which is 5. Good, we already have that in the list. All right, now we need everybody to have a 4 in their denominator. So 1/4. We don't have that on our list yet. What will be next? 2/4 is already on the list. Is 5/4 already on the list? So we'll add that. Is 10/4 already on the list? 10/4 is 5/2, so that's already on our list. I think this is an extensive list. He kind of started it off doing it differently than I do it. I tend to do 1/1, 1/2, 1/4, 2/1, 2/2, 2/4, 5/1, 5/2, 5/4. But his way works too, so I kind of rolled with it. So very good. There's your complete list, everyone. Hello. Go ahead, you can stick it in the box. All right, next up, we are going to do the whole entire solving process. We do have these steps to the whole entire solving process. I am not going to have you write them down right now. I think it'll take a little too much time. But let's say you're working on your homework Saturday and you just can't remember those steps. Where could you find this slide? 2 places. One place is in the video, for sure, in the video, 7 minutes in. But the second place is on Polaris. I save the notes every single day as a PDF file. I don't know if all of you have been on there and realized that. So you can always just click on that PDF file and find all these things that we maybe skip by and don't write down. Does that make sense? Okay, so our step 1 is going to be to make that P and Q list that we just practiced. Then we're going to cheat a little bit. We're actually going to use the graphing calculator to look for x-intercepts. The whole idea of doing that is to help you guess at what an answer is and to help you start off that synthetic substitution process. So we're going to finish it with that synthetic division and finish it off with factoring to kind of find the rest of those answers. So here's what a typical problem would look like. Is this particular equation a cubic or quartic? Quartic. It's actually going to have 4 answers. This is a pretty big problem. We're going to start with the big guy today. So let's get some tickets out. Who can tell me what would be on my P list? Are you pausing? You put like this. It was like a move. I got nervous. Anybody? Anybody? Aaron. Very good. So Aaron got those numbers from looking at that constant term, 8, and kind of dividing it out. Who wants to do my Q list? Emily? Just one. That was an easy list. And for another ticket, who would like to make my whole entire complete positive or negative P over Q list? Let's go with Liz. So that just gives us a list of possibilities. So I know by glancing at that, 3 is not a possibility. But 2? That's a possibility. So now what we're going to do is get that graphing calculator rolling. We're going to graph this original equation at the top. And what we're looking for are those x-intercepts. Okay? You should be seeing 4 x-intercepts. There's 4 solutions to this. And I'll just need you to give me one of them to get our synthetic division rolling. That's the whole point here. Get the ball rolling in the right direction. Get this guy. I guess I can show people on the video. You guys need to hit this y equals button, get the equation put in. right, so I forgot to have my video rolling, but we actually looked at the graph together, we looked at the table together, and I had a student tell me, let's go with -1 to start. We'll put -1 in our synthetic division problem, and we'll try to mathematically prove, Daryl, we're going to mathematically prove that -1 is indeed a solution. Or do that with synthetic division. What will I be looking for in my synthetic division to prove that that is a solution? A 0 as the remainder. Good. All right, so let's drop our 1. Let's do a little multiply. Let's add straight down. Do a little multiply. Add straight down. Do a little multiplying. Add straight down. Do a little multiplying. Yes! Whenever I get a 0 here, I do my little happy dance. Because we just verified that -1 is a solution. Awesome. So I do a big check mark. We just verified it. Now, yesterday, at this point, we would write this stuff as a polynomial and use factoring, right? But we have one too many terms. We have 4 terms here. So you know what we're going to do? This is going to be crazy. We're going to do another round of synthetic division. Yes, so fun. Alec, I need your help. We need another number off the list. Too bad you don't have a graphing calculator out, do you?
Yeah, I forgot.
Livy, we need another number on our table that we could maybe try.
How about 1?
How about 1? Sounds good. Livy's like, how about 1? Let's see if 1's a solution. Let's prove it. Let's prove it's a solution. Are these better than geometry proofs, Dale? Proving that these things are solutions. What? This is so fun. 1 times 1 is 1, add straight down. 2 times 1 is 2, add straight down. I could do this all day. I do it all day. -8 times 1 is -8, add straight down. Bam! Yes! We just proved it works. We just proved 1 is a solution. Check mark. Now we're in a much better position. Look, we only have 3 terms. Those 3 we can write as a polynomial. X squared plus 2x minus 8. And we can finish it off with a little bit of old-fashioned factoring. Gotta love old-fashioned factoring. What numbers multiply to -8 that add to 2? Yep, Aaron's right. +4 and -2. Which means the solution to this first binomial is -4, and the solution to the next binomial is 2. Now you don't want to forget that we have already actually verified the 2 other solutions. 1 is a solution from here, and -1 is a solution from up at the top. Jeez, I bumped my keyboard button. So now we have all 4 solutions. We got 2 with synthetic division, and we got 2 with factoring. Yay! Now they're not all this long. I've had so many people go, oh my gosh, that was a lot of work. They're not all going to have 4 answers. Only the cortex will have 4 answers. And all the homework problems are cubics. They only have 3 answers. And so if there's only 3 answers, you only have to do 1 round of synthetic division, and then you'll be ready to rock and roll the factoring. Okay? We're going to do the next problem, which is the last problem, with a board buddy. So that'll be fun. Any questions on this one? Are we caught up and good? All right, so I'm going to just give you the steps so you don't just come up with your board buddy and you're like, what do I do now? So what you want to do first, part A, is make your positive or negative P over Q list. Part B, you want to graph it so that you can get an idea of where to start out with your synthetic division. Part C would be actually do that synthetic division. And part D would be use factoring from there to get all your solutions listed out. All right, I'm going to put the video on pause, so if you're at home, you can try it by yourself, and we get some board buddies up here.
Probably. Do you have your calculator on you? No, mine's on my desk.
How do you find the Q again?
The Q is going to be the factors of the leading coefficients, in this case 1.
Okay.
So my P
No
list,
idea if I can use your calculator.
yeah, probably.
It's different.
It's a giant snake technically, but it's crossing a couple times. It's a positive snake, yep, with a couple curves.
X3. Yeah,
Negative 18. Okay, now we have to do another one.
I don't think so.
Okay, so when you get to here, you're going to turn that stuff into a polynomial. Yours is not matching mine because I started with a different number, but we'll get the same answers at the end. That's what's so cool. So my polynomial looks like this. What's your polynomial look like?
X squared minus 7. X
7x plus 6.
Now you are going to finish that off by factoring it with the old-fashioned factoring technique. And so am I. We'll end up with the same answers, which is so cool.
Maybe not good. Wait, no,
There's
wait,
three
no.
answers.
Wait, no, there's not. Never mind, never mind.
So then it'd be negative 6, negative.
So I actually found it really, really cool that these two board buddies started with a -3, and those board buddies started with a 1. Because it kind of proves no matter what pathway you go on, you'll get the same answer in the end. So you can kind of compare and contrast my work to their work. They got to the point where they were factoring x squared minus 7x plus 6 to get the final two answers. I had to factor x squared minus 3x minus 18 to get the final three answers. But the final answers are 1, 6, and -3. So are there any questions? Who graduated? Not? Why not? Okay, so let me recap, Mikey. Do you know how to make your positive and negative P over Q list? Then what you need to do at that point is head to the graphing calculator. Because you need an idea to kickstart your synthetic division. Alright. If you've been watching the video all along, thanks for your patience. If you're homesick right now and you need a copy of the worksheet, it's in Polaris. I made a new folder called the worksheet folder. Isn't that great? So when you're absent, you can find the worksheet. Everybody in class, you're getting a hard copy of the worksheet. Make sure you're just doing the front, and make sure you're reading the instructions, because 1 through 4, you're just making the P over Q list. You're not solving anything. 5 through 9, you are then solving the whole thing, that whole process with synthetic division. Okay? So it's just number 1 through 9. You don't do 10. Thanks for watching the video.